What's going on, everybody? C4, welcome back to the channel, and today we are here for a new Madden 22 realistic rebuild, this time with the New York Football Giants. We're going to be starting at Week 17 here in the 2021 season, and we're going to work our way for 4 more years. This year counts as 5, but what I'm doing now that we're starting so late, and we still got so many teams to do for the realistic rebuild series, is that if we have not found success in the first 5 years this year, or whatever's left of it, counting as year 1, I am very much open-minded to going for a 6th season with an asterisk, because really it should be 5 full years for a rebuild. But we're with the Giants. I mean, I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I'm never in a rush to do teams in the NFC East. But, I mean, you know, outside of Dallas, which I actually hate and don't want to do that, Giants and football team, or should we say Admirals, that's the leak right now. Those are the rumors on the interwebs. You know, I don't hate them. Don't despise them, and they're very interesting teams to get to for a rebuild. So that is what we're going to be doing here today. And before we take a look at this Giants roster, where it is at as a pretty lowly 78 overall, one of the worst, like a bottom 5, bottom 10 roster for sure in Madden 22, we first need to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Aspen Labs, and this is a message from their founder, Chris. What is Aspen Labs? Well, for $100, you can be the guy at your next party trying to explain why your NFT is worth 20 grand and getting a lot of eye rolls. They will ask, where's the value? Well, here it is. Aspen Labs NFTs are avatars in their upcoming metaverse. Each NFT is a playable historical character that will allow you to earn in Aspen and developing your own application, so the passive income can keep on rolling in. What makes Aspen Labs different? They aren't named after a cute dog, cat, animal, or Japanese bread. The 20-year-olds on Wealth Simple haven't mentioned them yet. They're new, like everything your parents hate. They are a blockchain-based gaming and lending company based out of Canada and Singapore. Stop randomly buying things you don't need. Buying NFTs isn't an impulse buy. They aren't Snickers in a checkout aisle. If you're able to research Chuba Hubbard stats for your fantasy team, do your research on Aspen Labs. And honestly, they're not just making NFTs and lending to students. They're hiring Canadians. And if you haven't looked around at all the help wanted signs recently, that puts them in a unique position. So if you're trying to save up money to get up the property ladder in New York or Manitoba, why not take hold of your digital future as well with Aspen Labs? For a limited time, they are running a giveaway with $5,000 in prizes. So if you want to make some money, just check out the links in the description below. All right, so looking at the Giants roster, typical YouTuber stuff. I recorded it like live. I don't want to restart it, but I am starting Week 17 just so I have an extra window in case players kind of go back on contracts. I have another negotiating window. I did throw an offer here at Evan Ingram. He denied. He wants a little bit more money. We don't have crazy salary cap, to be honest with you. We do have enough left to get Evan Ingram, but there are some horrific contracts on this Giants team that we need to get rid of. But because I had to re-record the intro, I was able to re-sign 3 players, and I'll just show that to you guys here today. We got Jabril Peppers on a 4-year deal. We got Bernardrick McKinney, who has a star dev, surprisingly, on a 3-year deal. And Will Hernandez on the offensive line to a 4-year deal. Don't have to worry about those players. Obviously, I think Jabril Peppers, of that collection of players, has the most upside and importance to our squad. But taking a look at this squad, what we're going to be using to finish the closing period of 2021. I mean, you look at the offensive line, it's not great. I think Hernandez has a little bit upside. I mean, this guy probably has what? Like a ceiling of 80. That's serviceable for a guard. Andrew Thomas seems to be, having a lot better sophomore season in the NFL. He's 75 star, so he's a guy that's definitely the belle of the ball for the offensive line. Evan Ingram, 81 at 26 for a 5-year rebuild. I mean, we're going to be just entering his prime here, so hopefully he continues to develop well. Maybe gets a dev trade increase. Saquon Barkley has regressed down, unfortunately, to a star. Gone are the days of him being a superstar X Factor. I think it's still there. It just sucks to see, as a Saquon Barkley fan, he was at Penn State, just a guy that regressed. I think it's all down to just how bad the Giants are. Like, if he was on a half-decent team, he'd probably be a superstar in today's NFL. But he takes so much punishment on the line of scrimmage. It's just, free Saquon Barkley, honestly. If there's one player in the NFL that I want to see go to a good team, as long as it doesn't negatively affect my Eagles. Like, if I could see Saquon Barkley go to any team whatsoever in the AFC, do it. Because I am a big-time fan of his. And hopefully he can kind of steal the show, get back on track here in this rebuild. Skill position spots, I mean, we are stacked at wide receiver. Sterling Shepard, 85 star. Kenny Galladay was pretty bad in real life, but I mean, in Madden, 83, 27, star dev can get it done. Darius Slayton, 78 star. They got the electrifying Kadarius Toney from where? Goddamn right, University of Florida. Electrifying play. That was annoying that he went to the Giants, is what it is. But I think we might have surplus requirement there at wide receiver. Sterling Shepard's 26, 28? Wow, okay. Well, we might have to move one of these guys. See if we can, like, you know, again, it's excess, surplus requirement. See if we can move one of the, we don't need 4 wide receivers. And maybe improve the quarterback spot. Daniel Jones sucks. He's not like, I don't know. I don't want to say Daniel Jones can't start in the NFL, but he's very much bottom tier starter. Not going to compete in the NFC East. And that's the NFC least nowadays. I just feel like Daniel Jones is in that like Mitchell Trubisky, Mariota. Like he should probably just bounce on the Giants, be a backup that, you know, if you got to rely on him for 2-3 games, might be able to, you know, get you out of a pinch. But we need to find a quarterback here. And if you probably clicked the video, you know what we're doing, but I'm not going to spoil it. I have a plan in place for this Giants squad. Flipping the defense, same kind of thing, like a collection of guys that should be good for the most part. We'll start with the front 7. You got Leonard Williams, Austin Johnson, Dex Lawrence, more so Williams and Dex Lawrence. Those guys should be here for full 5 years. Going to the rest of the front 7, Lorenzo Carter, Zimenez, you know, limited ceilings. You look at middle linebacker, we did extend Xavier McKinney, 75 star, 28. Again, tough to project what his ceiling's going to be. Could be like 80, 81, somewhere in that range, which is okay. Azeez Ojulari was a great pick out of Georgia, the rookie, 74 star, to have only 21. So very high expectation for him, already a scheme fit as well, speed rusher. Secondary, you got Logan Ryan, the veteran, Xavier McKinney, nice young player, high ceiling. Dory Jackson comes in. How old is he? He's only 25. I would have thought, honestly, Dory Jackson and Sterling Shepard like the same age, to be honest with you. But 25, I mean, again, high ceiling for Dory Jackson. James Bradbury's absolutely legit. The bell of the ball on the defensive side of the ball. 28 with that superstar dev trait. He is going to be here for the entirety. So, I mean, you really look at this. You need a nose tackle. And even Austin Johnson's serviceable. Like, wasn't he a high pick at Penn State? First, second round pick, somewhere in that range for Tennessee. But ultimately, you know, you throw in a nose tackle there. You throw in, you could probably take Julian Love, 2376, move him to slot corner, which is where he kind of plays that anyways, but he was really good at Notre Dame in the slot. He must have played a little bit of slot for the time being. Plus, you know, and you also got Darnay Holmes. He's on IR right now, but he has the dev trait, which we'll see probably in the offseason. I mean, the corners are good. Safeties are, you know, we can rock and roll with those safeties. We need like a middle linebacker, a nose tackle, another edge rusher, high upside edge rusher. That defense, that's probably going to be our defense. You look at the offense, let's rebuild the offensive line here a little bit. Find ourselves a quarterback, which is easier said than done. And I think we're going to have this team competing for the playoffs, competing for the Super Bowl. Don't think it's going to be a drastic rebuild, but we have to hit in free agency and with our draft picks. So without further ado, let's get through the conclusion of the 2021 season and get into the offseason. So the Giants actually were able to win in Week 18, which, you know, slightly affects our draft position a little bit. We finished 5-12 for the 2021 season. In terms of the stats, obviously these stats here are pretty much in line with what happened in real life. Well, Diggs dropped off for the interceptions, but more so focusing, I couldn't tell you really where the Giants are at statistically. Daniel Jones, that's, yep, not good enough. 3,300 yards, 18 touchdowns, 11 picks. Got to figure out the QB spot. 600 yards, 2 touchdowns for Saquon Barkley. I mean, again, when you have someone like Devontae Booker getting as many I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like, it's just a terrible rushing offense, and maybe Booker's slightly underrated for the most part. I mean, he was legit when he was with Denver. Like, there was a chance that he had a time at Denver that he could have been their starting running back. But, you know, gotta just do better with Saquon Barkley. Gotta be able to get him more involved in the offense. Evan Ingram was the leading receiver, 55 catches, 583 and 3, 540 and 2 for Kenny Golladay, 540 and 1 for Toney, 530 and 1 for Shepard. Saquon did some damage out of the backfield. Slayton, it's just, again, can't really hold these stats against these guys. It's just bad year all around. 110 tackles, Logan Ryan. 5 picks for McKinney has 5 picks. 7.5 sacks for Leonard Williams, 7.5 there for Azeez Ojulari. I mean, again, there was probably, what, 4 games that I had to force him. So, again, I don't know if any of these are lining up with real life, but 3 picks there for Bradbury, 2 for Love, 2 for Dory Jackson. 5 picks for McKinney is pretty nice, to be honest with you. So, I don't know. It's year 1. Just got to get through it, got to get into the offseason, and now the rebuild truly begins. So the Super Bowl has been played and was a Packers-Titans Super Bowl. The Green Bay Packers knock off the Tennessee Titans 28-21. Aaron Jones, fan of the channel, getting himself a Super Bowl MVP award. As we're going to see if anyone on our team went up dev trade. I highly doubt it, but you never know. I would say that if we do have any dev traits, it's going to be just reaping the benefits of a broken Madden game. But let's see. On the offensive side of the ball, not one player went up dev trait, and the hidden dev for Kadarius Toney comes out as a star dev. For the defense, we got Xavier McKinney's up to a superstar with those 5 picks. Like, there's no way he has 5 picks in real life, right? I don't think I've been sleeping on him that bad. But that is our one. I'll take that. There you go. We went from McKinney being like, oh yeah, we got a solid, strong safety there, to like, oh yeah, this guy here needs to become like one of our top 5 players for here in this rebuild. Staple of the defense type kind of move. Other than that, no other dev traits, but I will absolutely take a superstar on Xavier McKinney. All right, this is going to be the most important offseason of this rebuild, and we start with $5 million over for the salary cap, so it is time to thin the herd here on this Giants roster. All right, I got rid of some of the expensive death. There's some bad, like not bad contracts, but there's some contracts that are very difficult. Like we don't need Logan Ryan eating up that much salary cap. But in terms of our actual roster, Devontae Booker, every little bit counts. So we get $1 million getting rid of Devontae Booker. It is going to be the Saquon Barkley show going forward at wide receiver. Again, with Tony and Slayton and Shepard, you probably don't need Kenny Golladay, and that is a massive contract, but that's just there. We're getting rid of Kyle Rudolph. That's $4.5 million. Just gonna really right now clear as much overhead as we possibly can so that we can do something that I want to do. Nate Solder, 10, like the worst contract in the NFL. Goddamn Dave Gettleman special there. Free up $10 million from that decision. Not much else really that like jumps off the page in terms of like pure savings. Like I really wish there was a little less of a penalty on Logan Ryan. We don't need that anymore, especially with Xavier McKinney going to superstar and Jabril Peppers being an absolute beast. But we maybe Logan Ryan could be a slot corner for us, something like that, a little bit higher rating that we currently have. But I'll tell you right now, there's almost $3 million getting rid of a punter. Absolutely getting that done. Now, before we even entertain what players are available on the open market, we gotta do something first. So there are rumors that out of all the potential trade destinations that Russell Wilson will be going to, because it seems like everything is kind of set sail from Seattle for Russell Wilson in his time there, the New York Giants are on the list of cities and teams that he'd be willing to go to. The New York Giants with 2 first-round picks in the 2022 NFL Draft. Pick 5, which I believe belongs to them. Pick 13, which belongs to the Chicago Bears. That's what the Bears gave up to get Justin Fields. And I actually think, honestly, for the Giants, give credit where credit's due, I think I would have done the same thing. Seems like the Giants wanted Devontae Smith pretty badly. Then Philadelphia traded ahead of them to get Devontae Smith. So then they traded back, picked up a first, and got Kadarius Toney. And we saw in real life at least glimpses of the kind of playmaker that Kadarius Toney is. That can free things up for a true X factor at quarterback. I think we can win a Super Bowl with Russell Wilson. I don't know if they'll take this offer. I think they will. And that's what it's going to cost. I don't think you're going to get, like, I was thinking maybe I do a first-round pick and then one of the wide receivers. First-round pick, Sterling Shepard. First-round pick, Golladay. And while that might get accepted in Madden, I think if I'm the Seahawks, I am holding out for, at minimum, 2 first-round picks. And it has to be like this for the Giants. Like, for example, the Eagles. If the Eagles are picking at 15, 21, and 24, like, I'm not taking picks in the 20s. But a 5 and then a borderline top 10 pick, I think if knowing that Russell Wilson is not returning, I think I will do that. And for the sake of this rebuild, I will overpay so no one can say, oh my God, C4 out here trying to make a realistic rebuild and just ripping off the Seahawks. I think if I'm Seattle, a 5th overall and 13th overall for Russell Wilson, I'm taking that every day of the week. No one else will be able to match that in terms of quality for the 2022 draft. So with that, we now have a franchise quarterback. Gotta get a look at Russell Wilson here in the giant blue. Number 3 under center. There you go. Clean cut. I'll tell you right now, this actually happens. I'm gonna be annoyed because Russell Wilson always owns the Eagles. Eagles own the Giants. But with Russell Wilson, I think he's good enough. Plus, he's used to playing behind a garbage offensive line. And this rebuild, we're gonna make that O-line the best O-line he's ever played behind. But I think you're gonna have an absolute disgusting quarterback here. Scaper is everything that you want. I actually can't wait to hop on the 6 to play with Russell Wilson. And hopefully you guys are excited to go through this rebuild as a Russell Wilson New York Giants rebuild to bring a Super Bowl back to the Big Apple. Now, the bad news about making, that move this offseason is that we literally just made enough room to get Russell Wilson on the team. We have less than $1 million of salary cap, so can't really be active in free agency. And now with no premier picks in this upcoming draft, we are going to have to dominate in day 2, second, third round. Hopefully luck into a dev trade player on the offensive line or linebacker or edge. I don't know, man. We got to have a good draft, and it's very tough to have good drafts in later rounds in my custom draft classes, but it is what it is, man. So we're now here in the second round. Had to wait through the entirety of the first round to get to our pick, and it looks like we need a wide receiver, and we absolutely don't need one. This would be a very, very happy. I mean, we have Benito here from Oklahoma. He is a pass rusher. Could be it's really, there's two guys. It's either we get Benito the pass rusher or we focus on the offensive line, and we got Charles Cross here from Mississippi State. I feel like we got to put emphasis now on protecting Russell Wilson, doing the best job we can. We got one key rating scout there. It is a run block. He's not a top fit for us. I wonder if Benito is a top fit, maybe that could get me off of getting phrasing, and he's actually not. I think either one of those guys would be fine picks, but I think going on the offensive line, getting a little more versatility, I think someone like Charles Cross can come in, probably beat out Matt Peart for the right tackle spot. So we're going to select, and very high ceiling as well, which makes you think he might have a dev trade. Charles Cross, which he does, tackle from Mississippi State. Not gonna lie, that's actually brutal coming around to the third round. Myjai Sanders was the guy I was targeting, like looking at the board. It's like, all right, I mean, he'd come in, be a pass rusher, compete with Zimenez for one of those pass rushing spots on the other side of Azeez Ojulari. But of course, he's off the board. Jahan Dotson. We have Falele on the offensive line. Again, I mean, we could look at the guys that are available. Like, I'm looking for guys second, third round. We got, Brenton Cox from Florida. He's pretty good. You got the center there, corner. Like, we don't. I'm going to get, this is tough. I think, for me, do we try Jared Patterson at center? What is his ceiling gonna be? Are we grab? I'm gonna grab Merlin Robertson, linebacker, Arizona State. No dev trait. Should have a solid rating. We have the 10th pick in the third round, so don't have to wait too long here. And I feel like it was between Patterson at center, just because someone come in and challenge Gates. Again, looking for dev traits. No dev traits for Jared Patterson, but like a high 60s rating could kind of salvage this pick. Okay, draft recap time. Things finished out. We did get our hidden dev lineman in the second round for giving up both of our premier first round picks. That's pretty damn good here for the Giants. 68 for Cross, 68 with the dev trait, and he is going to have an immediate opportunity. We're going to make him and convert him right now to the right tackle spot. Even with Peart still young. Like maybe move him into guard, look at something like that, but Cross for sure gonna have to play tackle. Merlin Robertson 67 outside linebacker. We got Jared Patterson 68, both normal devs. At least they have decent ratings. I got Amari Barno, the defensive end from Virginia Tech, very, very good athlete, and I think for our scheme here we will convert him to a pass rusher on the outside. Make him let's go right outside linebacker, I suppose. Add some depth back there. We got McFadden from Clemson on the offensive line. Chad Mama, middle linebacker from Wyoming. And then we finish up by getting Cam Hayward's little brother, Connor Hayward, fullback from Michigan State. But again, at least, one hidden dev lineman. I'll take that. So a quick look at our roster. We got Russell Wilson, obviously, now under center, which is sticks like a sore thumb. That is the big improvement. But hey, shouting out to Charles Cross. Got that hidden dev on the offensive line. Helps us out. Now, we absolutely should be trying to move on some pieces here. So, ideally, Darius Slayton, I'm going to see between Darius Slayton on offense to try to improve one of these spots here on the offensive line at center or left guard. And you flip to the defense, I think we could very well be trying to move Logan Ryan, veteran. Obviously, the value's not... maybe those two combined, two star dev guys, could get us a low dev trait guy. But between getting, a defensive end, a pass rusher, or something on the interior of the offensive line, we're going to hit the open market and see if we can make a deal before this season starts to put this team in the best spot with Russell Wilson under center to win in year 2. So I did find a trade I'd like to make, but first, because of our salary cap, we have to make kind of a tough decision. And one of the players that I had on my trade block, we have to remove him. And by removing him, it will free up the funds to make a trade, which is very helpful for our squad. So we got Logan Ryan. Sucks to see him go, but with that removed there, we get to have a teeny bit of wiggle room to make a big-time trade, at least for our team. That works out well for both teams that are on this deal, given how this other team, the other partner, handled their draft, handled their business, getting a player that I actually think in real life, the Giants probably going to consider. But we have Darius Slayton, easily the odd man out right now at wide receiver. Take a look at the Denver Broncos. Now, the Broncos, they have yellow interest in Slayton. I don't think they have a desperate need for him, but he would be a nice piece to come in there. Compliment, he's younger than Patrick, more upside than Hamler. And they drafted Tyler Linderbaum, the center out of Iowa, giving us an opportunity to get Lloyd Cushingberry, who is on the trade block. And he is a very decent player. 73, star dev, only 24. Exactly the kind of playmaker we would love to have on the interior of our offensive line. So because of moving Logan Ryan to free up the salary cap, to make this move, we are able to kind of shift around some of our strengths. Send Darius Slayton, who now just frees up more reps for Kadarius Toney. And Cushingberry is, I think, what, 5-point upgrade over Nick Gates, who we currently have at center. And he has the dev trait, and he's 2 years younger. Because we are also very tight with our salary cap, we will free Nick Gates from his services here, get about $2 million in salary cap, and welcome our new starting center. Great name, first team all name, Lloyd Cushingberry III. Another trade I got to do, we got to try to get another defensive end. Greg Gaines, formerly out of Washington. I'm actually kind of pumped seeing him do so well. He's in a contract year, so clearly the Rams don't have any money to re-sign him. So I'm thinking about starting with a third-round pick, which is probably what he goes for. They also need center. So what about our third-round pick? Essentially, 2 third-round picks. Jared Patterson, kind of surplus requirement here after the trade for Lloyd Cushingberry. And that was enough to get it across the line. Greg Gaines is going to be a starting defensive end for us, along with Dex Williams, who we moved into nose tackle, and Leonard Williams on the other side. Also felt like we needed to make another trade on the defensive line. We moved Dex Lawrence into nose tackle. We have Leonard Williams on one side, but our other defensive end was like a 63 overall. So we looked at the trade block, and the Rams had Greg Gaines in a contract year. He's 26, 75, solid player for sure. So I threw a third-round pick. Figured I probably could get with a third-round pick, but they also had a need for center. So I threw in our third-round selection out of Notre Dame, Jared Patterson, who kind of became surplus requirement for us after the Lloyd Cushingberry trade. And that was enough to get this one across the line, and we're going to move Greg Gaines to a defensive end spot for us here. All right, we got a dev trait scenario for Azeez Ojulari. So he's sitting on a star dev, looking to go up to a superstar dev here this week against the Chicago Bears. We're 4-2, so, I mean, obviously, that is a level of success we kind of expected to add in when you bring Russell Wilson, X factor like that. Absolute game changer at the quarterback spot. Losing effort here, 34-28. But did we hit the dev trade for Azeez Ojulari? Womp, 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 womp. Coming out of the bye week, 4-4. Last place in the East, but 2 gains back from being first place in the East. We actually have a dev trade. Let's look at the contracts first. We don't have a lot of money, which is annoying. And there's a lot of players we want to try and re-sign, but let's just see what we're working with. Saquon Barkley, we'll start with him. Yeah, absolutely, man. This guy has to be a cornerstone. I think it will only be a matter of time until we can get Saquon Barkley back up to superstar X Factor range. So we'll definitely come back. James Bradbury, let's give him something. Honestly, let's give him like a 3-year deal. I don't think his rating's going to regress too bad. Like, at the end of that 3, he's still probably going to be, there's no dev trait regression, rightfully so. It's a broken mechanic in Madden. So he'll be like 32, 31, 82, 82 superstar. Like, that worst is still a third corner. Dex Lawrence on the defensive line is actually a fairly easy contract to give out. He's a beast. Big fan. I love that. I love when they got him out of Clemson. Blake Martinez, 3-year deal at 28. Kind of, we gave it to McKinney, who's not as good but had the dev trait. I think we could probably do better than Blake Martinez, to be honest with you. Just traded for Greg Gaines, 26, 27, 28. Why not? That's just a solid depth piece. Can do better if the draft kind of plays into our hands there a little bit. There is a great D lineman in the draft. If not, it's just, I feel like he's a nice little versatility piece. Not overly expensive, so we will come back for Greg Gaines. We'll come back for Saquon Barkley. Speaking of Mr. Greg Gaines, got himself a dev trait scenario. Very attainable. If we get up to star dev, that would actually be kind of dope. So we go back to the table. I actually haven't gone back to negotiate for either one, but we definitely want to lock down Greg Gaines, especially if he's going to hit on this dev trade scenario. 3-year deal, got him locked and loaded. Let's go back to Saquon Barkley. Needs a little bit more, so we'll give him a little bit of level. Give him 4. Like that. 5-year, $44 million for an injury-prone running back. Yes, sir. He has signed on. So now let's see here. On the road, Week 12 against football team, the Admirals. I guess that's what it's supposed to be called. Groundhogs was a rumor. If Greg Gaines can go to a star dev, that is going to be a very, very nice piece for our team going forward. Goddamn. At the end of year 2, not exactly the results we were looking for. Nice revenge game for Russell Wilson. 45-24. We defeat the Seahawks. Finished 9-8 above 500, which is better than where we were a year ago, but still tied for last place or tied for third place in the NFC, depending if you're a glass half full, half empty kind of guy. But very happy with that win. At least that's a little bit of momentum. And I would say we won like 3 or 4 of our last 5 or 6. So we did get to, it took a little bit to get together, man. Brand new team, looking around the league. Big year from Nick Chubb. 49 touchdowns, ageless wonder in Tom Brady, 20 sacks, TJ Watt. The rookie, Martin Emerson, 7 interceptions. God damn, McKinney's there for tackles. I like seeing that for our New York Giants. Look at our actual stats. Russell Wilson, 4,300 yards, 34 touchdowns. That's probably, minimum what I was expecting for Russ. And again, if this is just working through the kinks, building chemistry with his teammates, and he's only going to get better than this, that is perfectly fine. Running the ball, 1,800 yards, 23 touchdowns for Saquon Barkley. Think we probably should be confident that he'll go back up dev trade to a superstar at least, averaging 105 yards a game. 1,006 for Sterling Shepard, 953 and 13 for Kadarius Toney, 9 and 6 for Ingram, 7 and 5 for Galladay, 500 yards for Saquon Barkley. At least all of our premier guys are getting fed, so that's not bad stat lines there. Defensively, Xavier McKinney, 133 tackles, 5 interceptions. He might just be a superstar X Factor at the end of this year. A lot of tackles across the board, and tackles usually come down to dev trade upgrades. 11 sacks for Leonard Williams, 9 for Ojulari, 5 for Zimenez. We have those 5 picks. McKinney, 3 from Jackson, 3 from Bradbury. So these are all decent numbers. Number 6 offense. So this team is trending in the right direction. MVP went to Patrick Mahomes. Saquon Barkley was the runner-up. That is insane. And also, look at the year for Saquon. Now that I think about it, we just kind of breezed right past it. Saquon finished with, 2,300 yards from scrimmage and 26 touchdowns. Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting numbers. Actually, let's go back to the award winners just to see if we have any outright award winners to get an idea of what dev traits. So I think Saquon going to superstar should pretty much be expected. Offensive Player of the Year went to Saquon Barkley. Love seeing that. Russell Wilson coming in number 6. Defensive Player of the Year went to Khalil Mack. Xavier McKinney at 6. I think McKinney should be due for a dev trade. Matt Corral, the new quarterback, taking over Russell Wilson in Seattle, is the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Martin Emerson. He had a massive season, so not absolutely shocked by that. Running back is Saquon Barkley. Lineman, don't have nothing there. D lineman, nothing there. Linebacker, nothing there. DB, Xavier McKinney. So yeah, Graham Gano, kicker. Love seeing that, even though the kickers don't go to dev traits for some reason. Kickers are people too. But I think between McKinney and Saquon, 2 dev traits for sure as we clear out the lockers at the end of the season. The Super Bowl in year 2. Dallas. Dallas beat the Bengals 43-29. Zeke is your MVP. Ugh, gross. You know what? The only way that's going to make that better is seeing a lot of dev trade upgrades here on my team. So let's take a look at the offense. Expecting Saquon, would love anybody else. Saquon is back up to superstar. If he plays like he did again last year, he's going to be X Factor, rightfully so. We're treating him with respect. We're trying to build this offensive line around him. Charles Cross did have hidden dev. He's up to 75 with the star. I'll be honest. Between Sterling, I thought Sterling Shepard or Toney, one of those guys, would also go dev. Defensively, McKinney is now an X Factor. Let's go. Beast, man. He's been crushing it. 10 picks in 2 years simmed. I'm a big fan. What are the abilities here? Again, I suck with abilities. I already know people look at this. They're like, C4, come on, bud. Everyone knows, momentum shift or something like that is the best ability. We'll go reinforcement for the time being. Actually, you know what? No, we gotta stick with Zone Hawk because that's where he's from. He's not the big hitter. He's the guy that's forcing turnovers here. And once he goes up one more overall point, we will get a second superstar ability, which is pretty cool. New other dev traits on the defense, which is a little lame, but I'll take the X Factor. So free agency is an interesting one. I'm really upset that we extended Grant Gangs because there's only one guy I'm going in, which is doubling up on defense, but it's an upgrade, man. It's one of those things where, you know, we got depth now. I'm going to try to get Ed Oliver. He will come in and slide at defense. Another superstar. I mean, you look at the guys that are here. Offensive line, there's some guys. Nate Davis, I actually tried to make a bid on Nate Davis. That bid by Green Bay is outrageous. I went in with like $35 million and we were still 4th place. So, and another thing is like my O-line's good. You saw like, even though you got 72s, even though there could be upgrades, Saquon dominated. Wasn't a lot of sacks on Russell Wilson, so I feel like our offensive line as is doesn't need big time improvements. Then we look here, wide receiver, Scary Terry's available. Thought about it. Shepard's kind of old. Kenny Galladay's kind of old. Don't really have outs on those contracts, and those dudes are getting thousands of yards last year. So, you know what? You know what I will do? This is long term. I'll throw an offer out on Scary Terry. If he picks us, he picks us. Because I feel like there's going to be an out of Sterling Shepard, Kenny Galladay contract. I said you go take a look at them. If one of those guys, if I can release one of them right now, and no respect to either one of them, I would like to. Obviously, Galladay would be the guy if I could pick one to get rid of. But we actually have savings. I'll say right now, if we can get Scary Terry, I will get rid of Kenny Galladay. There you have it. So Ed Oliver, Scary Terry, come to the Big Apple, join Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson himself. That's advertising for free agents to come join you. You know you're going to be competitive. We're going to make the next move, and we got them both. Wow. Ed Oliver, Scary Terry, and I'm gonna call it my bluff. Get rid of what I thought honestly was not a great signing because of the injury concerns, and he pretty much had a stinker of a year. I'm going to get rid of Kenny Galladay. Thank you for your services. Not working out. Go somewhere else. We got ourselves an X Factor. All right, so for our first round selection of the draft, very good draft, to be completely honest with you, the spots that we want to get better at. One is on the offensive line. We could still look for a guard, even though I said it's fine. All three of these guards, especially Jennings, still value in looking for bench press. Third bench press, put up 39 at the combine, so he dominated. He's going to be mid-70s. I got BJ Proctor from Georgia. Get the A-impact block. Huge bench press second there. Both those guys would most likely be day one rookie upgrades on the O-line. But again, it goes back to the fact that, like, Saquon and all those guys, the offense was working good. So I was in the defensive ends. Man actually looked kind of solid, but look at this dude. 6'4", 319. Eric Thierry from Texas A&M. Like another so the B-power move, don't have enough information, is a top fit for us here. He ran a 4.7, 4.68 at 320. 320. The bench press is actually god-awful, to be honest with you, but that is a freak of nature. But we don't need it, man. We're bringing in Ed Oliver. So I'm looking for, right now, who's either guard or pass rusher. And look at the top pass rushers available. I think this is our guy. Joe McConnell from Washington. 6'2", 250. Can come over, compete with Zimenez. Got the A pursuit B tackle. And then you look at the physicals. 8th in the 40-yard dash. Bench is okay. Vert was good. But the 3-cone, the 20-yard shuttle, which are very important, are off the charts. So that is going to be... Come on, Dev. Come on, Blue Dev. Joe Connell. Yes, sir. Look at that, baby. There's your pass rusher, New York. So draft recap time. Anytime you get the hidden depth, that's all you want. You got to get at least one. And look at Joe McConnell at 17. 76 hidden depths, speed rusher, plug and play starter, 90 acceleration, 83 speed, tackles fine, 79 finesse, 75 block shed. Wish he was a little bit stronger, but he's more of a finesse guy, which is absolutely fine. We got Justin Anderson here, linebacker from Auburn. And as you can see, we got him strictly because I think we can move in middle linebacker. Someone has to take over Blake Martinez to play with Benardrick McKinney. And it is kind of a little bit of a gamble to draft outside with no real scouting because you never know. Even whatever their stats say, they still can end up being like, oh, he's a pass rusher. So that's 270s. We got Ware at guard. A little bit of a whiff there, 64. We got a 69 depth running back in Tatum. We got a 69 wide receiver, Jalen Smith. 65 safety, Norman here out of Penn. And finished up with Dwayne Elam, corner out of Florida Atlantic. But it is all about those first 2 picks. More so, Joe McConnell. Excited to see him on the defense. Year 3 for the New York Giants. I think we're at that tipping point where it's like, all right, playoffs. Let's not be bottom dwellers in the NFC East. Let's focus on making the playoffs. We spent big time money. Moved on from Galladay. Brought in Scary Terry. Saquon's a superstar now. Got Russ. O-line's looking better. Starting to take shape. Flip to the defense. We bring in Ed Oliver, which is outstanding. Dex Lawrence, Leonard Williams. We get the pass rusher, which I think is one of the best value picks in the entirety of the draft. Xavier McKinney is now a superstar X Factor. This is a defense that can absolutely take over games. Absolutely wreak havoc. The defense is set up how we want. Actually, I'm going to give McConnell here the spot over Ojulari. Got McKinney there. Tony, Saquon. Looks good. This team here, 10 wins minimum here this season. We get 10 wins and miss out on the playoffs. That's the only acceptable way of not making the playoffs here in year 3. Okay, you want to talk about heat check? Midway point of year 3. We're 7-1. And anytime there's this much of like a, oh man, look, nothing. We're skunk. Look at 55 against the Eagles. 35 against the Bills. 38 against the Niners. Beat the loss of the Cardinals. It's a tough game. It's a tough assignment. I guess we were just missing a couple guys. Guys, we're just missing a couple dudes. Look at the big picture here. I'm actually not seeing any of our guys there, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. It's a team game. But let's talk about some contracts here. In a good mood, too. So anyone that was maybe bubble in terms of getting a new contract, feeling happy. And this is actually going to be a very expensive free agency period. First up is Russell Wilson. Well, this is year 3. The way that we're playing, let's give him a 2-year. 60. It's a very expensive deal, but he takes it. Thank you very much. We got Leonard Williams. We'll actually wait on that. Let's go. Let's prioritize. Let's get the superstar here. We got Xavier McKinney, 5-year deal, done deal. We got Andrew Thomas on the offensive line. He's also a top priority. We're going to give him a 5-year deal, $50 million. Here's $50 million. Here you go. Got to get that meme from Dumb and Dumber. Here you go. When you got all the money, they're paying all the waiters and stuff like that, the people that are the chauffeurs. Here you go. Just hand them big time. That's what we're doing. Oh, you want a 5-year deal? It's like Oprah as well. You get a 5-year deal. Darnay Holmes wants a little more money. You're still probably going to get a 5-year deal, buddy. Sterling Shepard, replaceable. Let's be honest. Wide receivers tend to be plentiful on the open market. Dory Jackson, yeah, sure. 3-year deal for you. Actually, you know what? What's this for you? Take you under 10? Take you under a 10 cap hit. Here you go. We got Leonard Williams. It's gonna be tough to find someone that's better than Leonard Williams, to be honest with you. And he's been simming very well for us. He's been our top pass rusher. I think double-digit sacks last 2 seasons. If he's had double-digit sacks last 2 seasons, I will for sure pay him a little bit more money. I mean, look, that's still worth it. 11 in real life, 7.5 with us, 11 last year. On pace to get, around 8. I'm going to come back. We're going to come back for Leonard Williams. We're going to come back for Darnay Holmes. And still probably have around $40 million hit the open market. So to finish out year 3, I don't know how. What? We had more than 13 wins in the. Of course, Panthers. We did lose 2 of our last 3, of course. Dallas got close. Just never get that 1 seed. I will say the playoff format change has absolutely made rebuilds a little more tedious because you always have to run the gauntlet, but is what it is, man. 13-4. Our goal was 10 wins. We got 13 and an NFC East title in year 2 of Russell. And I mean, our team, what were we, 7-1? We found some sort of a winning combination. Look at that. Russell Wilson, most yards, 2nd most touchdowns, we think. You look at Kadarius Toney, 98 catches, 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns, baby. Let's go. Those should be dev traits all around. I mean, Russ can't, but he's got first in yards, 2nd in touchdowns, only behind Mahomes. Interceptions up, for sure. I wonder if the attempts are up. It seems like a lot more passing attempts than what we had. We had 580. What did we have last year? Like 4 something? No, it's about 100 more, give it, 90. It's not crazy. Saquon, a little bit. Obviously, there's when you have that much of a passing offense, something's got to give. But Saquon's still definitely more than good enough numbers for us. 1,500 yards, 17 touchdowns for Kadarius Toney. 13 and 8 for Scary Terry, 11 and 7 for Ingram, 1,007 for Sterling Shepard. So we have 4,000 yard receivers. I don't think that's ever been done. That's probably a record. Saquon also, when you chip in, 15, 16, 17, both 1,800 yards from scrimmage, 21 touchdowns for Saquon. Like, disgusting. Simply disgusting offense here from the New York Giants. Defensively, Holmes, that's a lot of picks. 100 tackles for McKinney. You got 5 picks, Darnay Holmes. Like seeing that. Another opportunity for a dev trade. 12.5 sacks for the rookie, Joe McConnell. He's star dev. I don't care. I'll take that. 14 TFLs, 12.5 sacks. This is going to be like the only 4-3 playbook that actually gets sacks. 10.5 for Ed Oliver, 8.5 for Leonard Williams, 5 for McKinney, 4 for Dex Lawrence. This is like one of my best sim. I can't wait to be one and done in the playoffs. You know what's happening. MVP, Russ? Guess not. Goes to Mahomes. In the NFC Offensive Player of the Year went to Ezekiel Elliott. Defense Player of the Year went to Aaron Donald. Offensive Rookie of the Year went to Watkins. Defense got to be Connell. Yeah, there we go. Love seeing that. Best QB went to... No! How? We have the first yards, second touchdowns, and Dak is the best quarterback? Absolute bullshit. Kadarius Toney's top wide receiver. He's been on star dev. It would be really nice for him to hit superstar at the end of this year. For D-line, defense, probably not going to have much. If anything, Darnay Holmes there for third corner. But, ain't no stop. I mean, come on. Just don't be one and done. It's the 9, not a bad team. Don't be one and done. Cam, number 1 offense, watch us get like 13 points. Holy shit. 56 to... What? Russell, whoa! That is sim! I didn't... No shenanigans. No shenanigans. We just got 7 sim touchdowns from Russell Wilson. What? You got to be kidding me. I've seen 5. I've never seen 7 sim touchdowns. Russell Wilson, GOAT. 100 yards there. Wait, we got 2 for Ingram, 1 for Sterling Shepard, 2 for Tony, 1 for Scary Terry, 1 for 7. I should not be this excited about a Giants rebuild, to be completely honest with you. And we got 7 touchdowns. Now we take on the Green Bay Packers. I don't even care. Even if we throw up a stinker. 7, I'll take that. That's a highlight right there. Yeah, of course we get shit pumped by Green Bay. Whatever. 7 touchdowns, Russell Wilson. We can build off that for year 4. Look at the Super Bowl. Bengals knock off the team that beat us, the Green Bay Packers, 35-21. DJ Reader gets the MVP. That's weird. Nose tackle getting the MVP. Don't usually see that. Let's take a look at our team after an insane year. Would love to see a couple dev traits pop. I'm going to say Kadarius Toney on offense, which he did. Brand new superstar. Can go on the outside. Maybe move Sterling Shepard. Actually, we'll probably keep... I mean, Toney, that's where he's most productive in the slot. I feel like ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's keep him there. It's a glitch at this point. It's working. No other dev traits there. Defensively, what are we saying here? I would have loved to see McConnell go up dev for having that crazy of a rookie season. We have seen occasionally defensive rookie of the years, offensive rookie of the years get dev traits few and far between. It feels like 5% of the time. Oddly enough, no dev traits on the defense. Oh, nah, did Jabril Peppers go up? I feel like he was star. Okay, we'll take that. We got 1 superstar dev there for Jabril Peppers. Pair that with McKinney, one of the best secondaries, one of the best safety duos in the NFL. 7 sim touchdowns for Russell Wilson. He's cooking. So for Francie, for how good our team was, I'm just like sitting here being like, do we really need anybody? I thought about Trevon Diggs. Bids are pretty big. So what I'm going to do, I want a middle linebacker. So I'm going to look at someone like Jeremy Chin. A lot of competitive offers. We don't get them. Fine. I don't really think we have a whole lot of holes, but I would like to bring in a competent upside middle linebacker there to complement Anderson. McKinney's kind of over the hill a little bit. So if we get Jeremy Chin, that'd be dope. If not, just more money to carry over to next season. Oh, what a prick. Jeremy Chin, more like Jeremy Ass. Good luck going to a shitty team, whatever team you decide to go to. Guarantee, not like us. Guarantee their QB doesn't throw 7 touchdowns in a playoff game. All right, so for the draft, 2 spots we're looking for: a middle linebacker and or a lineman. And there was a lineman that I was going to kind of call back to. But I don't even need, I literally haven't looked at any other linebackers either. Drew Wheeler, I got 1 rating, which is A tackle. And then we do the physicals. Fastest linebacker, second in 3 cones, second in 20-yard shuttle. Even this guy's normal depth, he's going to be like a 76, 75 minimum. Welcome. I don't care. That rating's going to be good. He's got to be probably a top 5 player in the class. So draft recap time. Yeah, there you go. Drew Wheeler knew the rating was going to be fire. 75 normal for a rookie. With that kind of skill set, I don't think it's going to be long before we get a dev trait scenario. I mean, dev traits or not, whatever. Don't need the abilities. He has the ability and an athletic ability. Okay? We got Thomas Judge here in the second round. I'm not going to lie. After that, my board was kind of shot. No linemen. So I let the computer handle thing. All I want was linemen, and the linemen stunk. So this guy, Nizer Phillips, pretty good. We got Madison Hedgecock's brother, Jeremiah. There's a giant callback right there. Jeremiah Hedgecock. Whatever. I'm pumped with Wheeler. That's a great pick. Year 4 for the New York Football Giants. Up to an 84 overall. Really, not a lot of turnover, not a lot of changes. And we're coming off the kind of year that we had, even though it was a disappointing ending. The parts that built up last season were incredibly solid. Russell Wilson, 87, doesn't matter. He's playing the best football of his career. We now have Kadarius Toney up to a superstar. That is a big enough get for the offense. It's a little bit of change there at left guard. I think we could still be serviceable. Would have been nice to get a replacement. Just the linemen weren't available in free agency and the draft. And we decided to go linebacker instead. And we have an absolute monster. We're going to get rid of McKinney. We're going to knock him down. We're going to go with Anderson. And we're going to go with Wheeler. Two nice, fast, quick, powerful linebackers. McConnell, hottest rookie last season. Defensive rookie of the year. You throw in McKinney. You got Peppers, who's now also a superstar, much like Kadarius Toney in the offensive side of the ball. There's no weakness to this team. I think yet again, we are going to dominate. We're going to win the NFC East, and we're going to go on a lengthy playoff run. This time, how about we don't use up all our luck week 1 in the playoffs, and we get that first round bye. Midway point, not as hot as we were a year ago, but still 6-3. Game behind Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East, and what I would assume would be first seed in the NFC. Wow, okay, the Packers are up there, 8-1. Team that knocked us out of the playoffs last year. But we're fine. We'll keep battling. We'll keep persevering. These are the final contracts we think. There could be an asterisk. Like I said, we could do year 6. Let's go. Some of our young players. Kadarius Toney. Let's give you a 5-year deal. You were an absolute monster last year. Hopefully that is continuing here this year. And that money is money well spent. We got Azeez Ojulari coming off the edge. He's been solid. Probably not worth that amount of money. But again, it comes to a spot. We don't re-sign him. It's going to be a hole we have to fill. And he's probably going to be the best available free agent. We're going to have to outbid other teams. So I think we'll just chill with the rest of the contracts and go into free agency again because we went light last year with a bunch of money to make, maybe Super Bowl or bust-esque upgrades, even though those don't really exist in realistic rebuilds. There we go, baby. We manifest a very competitive NFC East, but a 12-5. Oh, man, we lost. I was worried. I saw that loss. But luckily, Dallas kind of slowed up there a little bit, and we got that bye. That's a low, man. I don't know. 12-5 feels like maybe the lowest 1 seed we've had in at least quite some time. But we'll take it. Be able to kick our feet up. Now an 86 overall team. Not use up all of our luck in the wild card round. With the big picture, Russell Wilson crushed it again this year. Second in passing yards. Probably second in touchdowns. 40 tutties there. Look at the rest of the league. Some pretty big time numbers across the board. 19 sacks, Brian Burns and Josh Allen. Visca Chenault, the breakout year. Derrick Henry kind of crushed it. Let's look at our team. Got plenty of time here now. No bye. We get the bye, actually. Second in yards. Third in touchdowns for Russ. And he's getting up there in age. So that's tough to be putting up numbers like that. But then again, you look at Tom Brady. He's constantly crushing in the sim. Not completely unrealistic. Rushing, 21 touchdowns, 1,400 yards for Saquon Barkley. We got receiving what? What? Jareth Stearns. Just the guy. Random, I guess, slot. The slot guy is crushing it. Ingram, 12-9. 9-8 for Scary Terry. 9-7 for Kadarius Toney. So you would have Toney and Scary on the outside. Ingram and tight end. And then Jareth Stearns in the slot. Okay. Absolutely terrifying numbers from Jareth Western. I mean, those are the kind of numbers you put up in Western Kentucky. He was Bailey Zappi's #1 guy. Transferred from Sam Houston with him. With his little brother. Let's say defensively, Dory Jackson led the team in tackles. Again, that's actually kind of crazy. 10 sacks, Leonard Williams, 7.5 McConnell, 7.5 Ed Oliver, 7 for Dex Lawrence. Interceptions are okay. Stearns, what? I mean, I knew we were moving on from Sterling Shepard, just get a little bit younger, but still. Okay, Mahomes is the MVP. Russell way down there at number 6, Saquon at 10. And then for the individual award winners, probably not going to see any Giants. No one had insane seasons, even though we're very happy. It's team success. Got the first round bye. I will trade any of those individual successes for a team success. So let's see what we got. We got the 10-7 football team. We got to be able to knock them off, man. Divisional rivals. It's a heated matchup. I fucking hate this game. Dallas won the Super Bowl. Don't care. Fucking hate this game. Looking at our lineup, any depth traits, any sort of momentum that we could possibly carry into next season. Stearns didn't go up depth trait. That's absolutely awesome. Offensively, not much there. Defensively, doesn't look like one depth trait was gained. Awesome. Yep. Cool. So for our final free agent here, we're going to be aggressive. I feel like our sacks could be improved. Like someone like Chandler Jones could come and get 15 sacks. So why not? You know, we got our last little window to try to win. And, you know, I think we can do better than Jared Stearns. Knowing that, like, copy and paste whoever's in that slot's going to be. So let's point out Rashad Bateman. A little bit more upside. Maybe he does more with the amount of targets and volume that Jared Stearns got in our offense. So maybe these are the two moves that can help us, you know, win more than one goddamn playoff game. Maybe not, though. Maybe it just doesn't matter. Maybe it just does. You throw 7 touchdowns some games. Then other games, you can't beat the football team. We got both Jones and Rashad Bateman. That's a great start. We've been putting it off all rebuild. We are drafting a guard in our final draft. It's about time. Looking at our options here, when in doubt, we go with bench press. And the highest bench press is Mr. Brian Hudson from Miami, right guard. You don't awareness, who cares? B pass block. Give me Dev. And we got Dev, plus 90 strength. So for our final draft, hit on Huston. Happy with that. Rating kind of sucks. We got the Dev trait. Got Jabarick Stockton, corner FSU. Rest of the pick, I mean, nothing really to scream home. But I know you get 70s in the 4th round. It's pretty good, especially with that big bump with our coaching staff, Widmer. But ultimately, it's year 5 draft. It is what it is. And I'm just like flexing a little bit when we can draft a hidden Dev player. Now, let's win the Super Bowl, man. All we can do. All right, let's preview the team before I go consume a nice daily dose, helping spoonfuls of salad, because I guarantee this is going to be a very frustrating year 5 when all is said and done, but maybe not. But I already know I need to prepare. I'm going to get that base layered down so I don't completely lose my mind. Here is our Giant rebuild team. Offensively, Andrew Thomas, McFadden, Lloyd Cushingberry, who we traded for, Will Hernandez, Charles Cross, which was our first big draft pick. Evan Ingram's still doing the damn thing. Kadarius Toney's developed into an absolute monster. We have Cam Hayward's brother doing the damn thing at fullback. We traded 2 first-round picks for Russell Wilson. Threw 7 touchdowns in a friggin' playoff game. He's been lights out. Top 3 quarterbacks since we made that trade. Saquon's back on track. Signed and poached Scary Terry away from a divisional rival. He's been crushing it. We bring in Rashad Bateman, former first-round pick of the Baltimore Ravens, to do the damn thing. Defensively, what do we got? We got in, signed and got in Ed Oliver, Big Ed O, to pair with Dex Lawrence and Leonard Williams, already staples of this front 3 on the Giants. Linebacking core. This is where it gets a little tricky, because I think Azeez Ojulari's been good, but he hasn't been getting sacks. So I think we're going to just have Jones go there for the time being. McConnell's been a beast. Our linebackers, while they don't have dev traits, they put out, man. They put out. Got Xavier Kinney developed into an X factor. Pepper's up to a superstar. Bradbury's still being good. Jackson, Holmes, the entire secondary is exactly what we inherited, and we're going to continue to try and win with it. I think this team here, 12 wins minimum, and hopefully prayers out there that we don't get bounced in the first round of the playoffs again. All right, sim to midseason, 7-0. I'm not even going to mess with anything. We're gonna see if we can go complete undefeated season. It's still on the board. Have we beat anyone good? We beat Dallas, Buffalo, playoff caliber teams. Football team bounced us last year. I mean, that's still a couple big games. I'm going to be surprised if we can beat Dallas twice. They're very tough to beat in the sim. But undefeated season, still very much on the cards here. Let's see what we got. I'm going to say we lost to the Cowboys. 15-2. So we did what? We lost 2 games. I'm going to say one of them is maybe Cowboys and football team, if I had to guess. But our best 15-2. Absolute baller. Got the first round bye. Very happy with that. Let's see. Who to beat us? I'm going to say Dallas and football team. I think we had the Cardinals. We lost to the Chiefs. I bet you. Okay, Cowboys. Chiefs and Cowboys. 2 impossible teams to go up against in the sim. And there it is. Least shocking thing I've seen. But we've made the playoffs. Looking at the big picture. Russell Wilson right up there again. Sam Darnold. Okay, one of those quarterbacks is not like the other ones. Let's take a look at our team. Drew Wheeler. Is that our guy? Drew Wheeler? I think he's our guy. Drew Wheeler's that dude that didn't have the depth trait. Looking at our stats. In the 5th and final year of this rebuild. 5,200 yards, 43 touchdowns. Russell Wilson has been nothing shy of amazing and sensational and well worth the 2 first-round picks. We traded the Seattle Seahawks for their disgruntled superstar. Saquon, 1,300 yards and 19 touchdowns. We got 14 and 13 for Bateman, 11 and 5 for Scary Terry, 10 and 10 for Ingram, 9 and 9 for Kadarius Toney, 5 and 4 Saquon Barkley. Defensively, yes, it is Wheeler. Absolute insane season for him. Sacks weren't great. 9.5 Chandler Jones, 7 for Leonard Williams. Maybe bringing in someone like Chandler Jones and kind of forcing him in the lineup. Maybe that messed with the feng shui of the pass rushers. Interceptions, 4 picks. Jabril Peppers leading the unit. Not terribly disappointed with that. Third offense in the NFL. Yearly awards. McCaffrey is your MVP. Russell Wilson coming in at number 5. For outright award winners, let's just take a little sneaky poo here. Rashad Bateman, wide receiver of the year. So I'm sure if we make the playoffs, go on that deep run, make the playoffs, win the playoffs, but make the Super Bowl, he'll get that depth trait, and we'll have another superstar playmaker on one of the skill positions. Not a lot of awards going around, but this is a prime year. Another prime year. We've had 3 straight years where we very easily and probably should be making the Super Bowl. What do we got here? We have Carolina first up. I think we could beat them. I think you got Christian McCaffrey. Did he win the MVP? He was runner-up. I know he was ahead of our guy. I feel like he won the MVP. Is that like how we start this off, is by starting against... Okay, so we're just going against this MVP. I'm sure that's not going to be anything. You know what? I will say this. If we lose out on this run, I think I'm going to do a year 6. So, let's see. We'll start this first round. Because we're going year 6, it'll be a little bit of fruit. We get the win. 35-14. I think we got to play this game against Dallas. It's a conference championship. Winner goes to Super Bowl. We can't throw up a goose egg. But we won 35-14. Let's take a look at the stats. I assume Russell... We didn't get 7 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns, 1 pick from Mr. Russell Wilson. 92 and 2 from Saquon Barkley. 120 yards receiving Rashad Bateman. Love seeing that. Defensively, Drew Wheeler, 6 tackles and an interception. Sack from Ed Oliver. And I assume we just didn't let Christian McCaffrey take over this game. McCaffrey, 40 yards there. Yeah, 60 total yards from scrimmage for Christian McCaffrey. That's exactly what we needed to do. And it sets up, I gotta get the dust off the old sticks here. It is time to go in and kick the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys. One thing, as an Eagle fan, creating this content, that you, as a New York Giant fan that may be watching this, is we both can just say, in complete harmony, in unison, fuck the Cowboys. Let's go. See what we got here. We're going to play some offense. Got Russ walking out in the uniform. Let the defense do its damn thing. Let's go. First drive. Defense got to stop. Let's put 7 up on the board. 1st and 20 backed up. Did we get the chip? We didn't really get the chip that we wanted. But Russell Wilson has insane throw on the run. Spin move by Kadarius Toney. Ranks away from the safety, Donovan Wilson. He's getting kind of gassed. But there you go. 90-yard bomb is how you start this out. Terrible missed tackle from Dallas. And we'll absolutely start the game that way. Defense comes out, gives up a touchdown because, of course. Punch it in. Runs over the linebacker. And Saquon Barkley is in. Go ahead. Touchdown for the Giants defense. Come on, get a stop. They do. Just pay attention to the ticker. It looks like winner's playing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Awesome. That's going to be fun and easy. But if it was fun and easy, how would we do this? Why would you be watching this? Oh, no safety help. Just one. This O-line hold up. One of you guys get open. Ugh. Let's go. That's Love. Julian Love, former Giant, getting picked on by Scary Terry. Giants extend their lead. I feel like almost a little bit confident here to sim a little bit. Feeling, oh, absolutely terrible decision. Sim, give up 2 straight scores. My apologies. Forgot we can't do that. Forgot there's no lead safe on sim. But we've had 2 massive passes here. I'll play a default all-pro. Rebuilds are for me to relax, not like the gameplay in rebuilds, not try to stress, not try to meta, not try to work on all C4 sliders. So it's all-pro's competitive, but we're crushing them through the air when we actually kind of bombing on them. Deep ball again, baby. I own Dallas. We had Quez Watkins, 300 yards. Scary Terry's about to get another one. 1, 2, 3. Boom, one-handers. Gets in for the not touchdown. That's fine. We can chew up a little bit more clock. But man, is it so much easier to win in Madden when you have like a lot of X factors. Usually, in 90% of my content, I don't have a lot of X factors. But they're pretty good. That's actually a good tackle from Parsons. Chewing the clock. The chewing the clock's actually probably bad for us because they're most likely going to score a touchdown. So I'm actually going to take off tempo. Actually, no, we'll go tempo. It's on the 1. Let's go to the opposite side of Micah Parsons. Like, if Micah Parsons forced that fumble, I would not complain. The fact that it was just some guy, like probably an 80 normal dev linebacker, I'm over it. Defense gets a great stand. Let's kill this game off and go to the Super Bowl. So we can get a touchdown here. They're rivals. Hey, yeah, God, you just run it up. Run it up. Saquon makes up for that fumble. And seeing that, you know, the Chiefs put up 35. We put up 36. Huge game from Russell Wilson. $150 for Scary Terry. Insane 90-yard touchdown for Kadarius Toney. And the Giants are going to meet the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And give it his big year, Rashad Bateman. Now up to that superstar dev. Happy to see that. Let's do our media. See if we can set the tone here. 15 and, you know, I think we're pretty good. Confetti Reigns, what would it mean? It would mean absolutely everything because it's the final year of the rebuild. Joe Judge, I'm going to be honest. I think he's one of the worst coaches in the NFL. But, you know, bad coaches have won the Super Bowl before. My own favorite team, depending on how you think. Well, Doug Peterson could be a bad coach, depending on who you think of. But, let's go, man. It's going to be tough. Defense needs to get some stops. Our offense needs to keep pace. We have a beautiful introduction here for the Super Bowl. Oh, look at that. That's a massive American flag. God bless America. God bless fireworks. God bless Andy Reid. God bless the Giants for this one and only video. Opening drive. I think they scored. Okay, looking for the deep shot there. Kadarius Toney. Got Scary Terry on the slot. We're going to bail out of the pocket because we have... Oh, we got the X Factor. I thought Willie Gay was going to break on that. Drop back into coverage. But still, you're going to pick on the linebacker every day of the week with Scary Terry back there. Ooh, okay. Let's be aggressive. Again, got to match points for points. Oh, that's the look that we want. That's the look that we want. Honey Badger's old, man. Honey Badger is old. 80, probably 85 speed. We will pick on that early and often. Second drive, Chiefs get a field goal. That's a win for our defense. I was a little too aggressive. Is that L'Jarius Sneed? I mean, you had to step on him too, but it was just... You read that one well? Gotta get a touchdown here. Touchdown or bust, I think. If we don't get a touchdown here, this game's gonna get away from us. Thank you. Honey Badger got him on the last one. We get the big hit when we need it. Touchdown. Defense, give me one stop. Of course not. All right, gotta get another touchdown. How did that not chip away at the momentum meter? We scored a touchdown, like a big 70 yards. Fine, it's not going to completely eliminate. Don't have it like off the freaking rails there. Let's not update it. You get that touchdown and stops, 10 points. You make plays from 10. Let's go. You can make plays down 10. Literally all of our completions have been touchdowns so far. And I'm fine with that. Because rebuilds are absolute fantasy and stupidity. That's what you get. All right. Hold move field goal. That's also a win. Let's chill out. Let's go back. Try to run it a little bit with Saquon. I wonder if we can get this. Play action. 2 straight runs. Kadarius Toney gets a step. And he gone. He gone. Woo! That's a 1-point lead. Extra point pending. 2 straight Saquon runs. Sets up the play action. Defense throws up an egg. But we're right in this game. Okay, we got Chiefs one a little bit slant. Scary Terry. I think that's probably our best probability here on 3rd and 6 to move the chains. And it is. Got chew clock on. This needs to be the last drive. Or, like, give them less than a minute. Let's go, Russ. A little scramble. I think the temptation is if one of my guys gets open, to, like, we can't score. It's too early. Go, Russ. There we go. Beauty. Stay in bounds. See, look, I hit X to slide, didn't slide, open right up for a fumble opportunity. This game's broke. Like, come on. How X to slide with, he has like all the running abilities for a quarterback. Should slide every time to prevent the fumbles. Again, another opportunity. Let's just. Like, why am I not sliding?
Oh, that's me. That's me.
So look, slide. That was the slide animation. This game fucking sucks. If you guys have another team you'd like to see me rebuild, let me know in the comment section below. Tomorrow's video should probably be another Pink Slips episode, so that'll be cool. We'll have probably another rebuild on the weekend, so whatever team gets commented the most will be the team we try to win a Super Bowl with next. And, like to hit the like goal, 1,000 likes, that'd be pretty dope. Hit that subscribe button if it's your first time stopping by. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.